You're listening to the Raised by Wolves complete series, written by Casey Morales, edited by Carly Slattery, narrated by Jon Curtis. 1. Boring Saturday. It's a terrible idea to leave a 22-year-old guy alone at home on a Saturday. There are entirely too many parts of a young male's overactive yet still developing brain that can wander and find trouble. A girl would read a book, watch a movie, or find some other semi-productive way to use her free weekend, but not a boy. At least, not this boy. So, we've established I'm home alone and bored on a Saturday. There's bad football replays and bowling on TV. I tried the other channels, but Lifetime didn't call to me. It rarely did. There were reruns of Star Trek, but I'd long ago reached my tribble tolerance, so I tossed the remote aside and wandered aimlessly around our poorly appointed apartment, briefly considering attacking the pile of dirty laundry in the corner. Unfortunately, it was much larger than the sacred pile of laundry quarters on the counter. My roommate Peter would be frustrated that I'd violated the immutable law of laundry quarter hoarding, but I'd found a vintage Miss Pac-Man machine at a Pizza Hut around the block from our place earlier in the week. What can I say? Miss Pac-Man and I have a thing. So much for the stockpile. Quarter issues aside, the thought of lugging a basket of laundry down the stairs to the complex's common room, then babysitting my poor collection of hole-ridden undies, wasn't appealing. I'd had a massive load of my best, fairly new sweatshirts stolen from that laundry room, so babysitting was a requirement. But the clothes had sat on the floor for a few days without stinking, and I figured they'd be okay a little longer. Just to confirm this decision, I did the only thing a self-respecting young man can do in this situation. I sniffed my t-shirt. It didn't kill me, so I assumed I was stronger for the effort, and moved on. Frustrated at my fruitless apartment tour, I tossed myself back onto the couch, grabbed the remote off the cardboard box we used for an end table, and resumed Olympic-level channel flipping. Some guy was babbling about the strategy behind championship bowling. Strategy? Hit the pins, right? I flipped on Mr. Strategy as fast as possible. The phone rang. No one ever called. This was exciting and something new to shake me out of my boredom. Yes, this was an old-fashioned landline. There was no caller ID or any other fancy features we take for granted these days. The ring sounded like the rapid whirring of a teacher's bell in school, kind of annoying but something you couldn't ignore. My roommate, Peter, and I shared the number. He was a struggling model, trainer, and I hadn't found my place in life. We shared pretty much everything that involved spending money on a monthly basis. He was a good roommate that way. I answered. Hello? Hey, Peter? The voice...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?